Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And they'll run it here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to be 49er football.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. Buying time to his one. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now back to throw. Flush to his right. And incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Check. 53 right.
And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
It's Coleman here. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now this time he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. Now they'll run it on the toss. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
And this one is right through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs.
Here we go now.
Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with third and just a couple.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On third down, it's Wallace. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
319!
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. To throw now on 2nd and 10. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 319! 319!
They'll look to throw. Down he goes. The 49ers get there. Joe Schobert leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And his kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find one to get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. They'll look to throw here. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. And they'll go on the ground. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
56! Lucky 56! Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. That's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
Gun! 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 Check. Check out well.
He'll drop to throw. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
No, check. Patriot! Patriot! Gun! 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 Gun!
Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And complete, right side to Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looking to throw. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out, and he is going to need to bomb this one. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll set up a throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Hot! Hot!
They'll set up to throw. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Niners on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Hot!
They'll drop to throw. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll throw now on the final play. Steps away. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Lucky 56.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. To the ground, this time Cook. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Gun! All right, here we go. Blue landed.
Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
4 down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He sets to fire deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Gun!
He'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing. Wait. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. Whoosh. Spins past another.
Oh, my man.
Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Thompson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And his throw is incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
So third and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now back to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Spins by. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Back to throw here. Trying to lay one up deep. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 29. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Detroit! No, check, Patriot!
Now they try the right side here. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Joe Schobert leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Steps away to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. D. Ford in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone. Over.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun?
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Flush to his right. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he stopped immediately there. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. It's their quarterback. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Now this time he'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it around.
And he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! 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 Detroit!
On 3rd down. That's Wallace. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. In for the score. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. No problem there on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Buying time to his left. He's to the 10. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. How about that? Their quarterback with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass.
Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football that will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline is still scratching his head. Yeah,
not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Green, 39.
They'll start by running the option to the right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Hey. Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw here. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Eluding the pressure right. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, You'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try again with the arm here on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, first and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant
rush coming, and he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And they'll run it here. That one good for 10 yards. And they're going to face a third down.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
He'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on second and 13.
Black 99 Philly, here we go. Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56.
Bust through the tackle. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 33. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.